Last episode, I talked about 90s arcade racer, an ambitious love letter to classic arcade racer that never got released to this very day. While I was waiting for the eventual release date, something else caught my attention, which leads me to today's video. Another Kickstarter that never see the light of day. Drift Stage is developed by Super System Softworks, an indie company consisting of one important individual, Delco Doc. Oh, and also Chase Petit and the musician Hugh MYRONE. We will talk about them later. The existence was made public on August 13, 2014, with a teaser showcasing a glimpse of the game itself. Although not much information, it is already good enough to garner lots of attention, and as you guessed it, the Kickstarter is an instant success. On the first day alone, the project already received $16,000 worth of pledging dollars by the backers. Mind you, the goal was $30,000 in between January and February of 2015. And guess what? It only took them 3 days to reach the goal. 3 days! What a tremendous effort. I am astounded by those passionate backers that did what they could to make their project a reality. As we approach the end of the Kickstarter period, well, a total of $57,000 and 2,650 backers turned up to witness the historic moment. Before we went any further, let's take a look at the game itself. Right away you can tell the game is a big throwback to the 80s and 90s. First and foremost, gameplay itself is hugely inspired by games like Outrun and Ridge Racer, with the latter being the most important core element that was demonstrated here. Based on my 2 hours testing of the demo, I felt nothing but satisfaction as I maneuvered through each corners with the help of the button on my keyboard. Doesn't matter if you use keyboard or controller, you can still get the same amount of experience. The drifting itself is so fluid and smooth that you just wish it doesn't end right there. Well, fear not, as each corners in all of the tracks allow you to do so, giving you more longevity of drifting, and also the car themselves are under your command, and whenever you drift, nothing out of the ordinary happens, thus giving you a full sense of control right at the palm of your hand. When you look back at the footage that you recorded, you will realize how exhilarating it can be to fly through each corners without ever using the brakes. At some point, you will feel like a drift legend. But hey, don't get too excited though, and attempt to take on the Touge quickly, because let's just say you might regret it. Next up is the graphics, which is a good callback to the early 80s, where everything is shrouded in aesthetic aged atmosphere. Whether it's the location, building, cars, or anything else, it's safe to say that you are in a world where you have nothing to worry about, and all you have to do is just drive around and drift. I really gotta give credit to the developer for making cel shaded graphic for this game, because honestly, it fits perfectly. Just like Tetris. But nothing is perfect without the soundtrack. The aforementioned Hugh MYRONE is one of the main components to kickstart this adventure. Not only most are high energy, but also good enough to add some spice to this already delicious last course. Some are inspired by set pieces from other media that sure will please some fans of the community. It makes you fully immersed in a world where all of the negative moments in your life are nowhere to be seen and instead throws you with a bunch of positive stuff right in your face to put your mind to rest. And this is why I love cel-shaded games like Automata Lista, 13, and also that one drifting game that I can't seem to remember, etc. In our daily life, we are just busy with stuff that never seem to have the end point to it, and we just aimlessly continuing the same stuff over and over and over again to the point that you just question if everything you did is worth it. The world is in a constant suffering. We want to relax, but the world keeps moving forward and we cannot fall back for even once. Not to mention, our surrounding adds salt to the injury. Remember once when we have the beauty of a nature right in front of our face? But now, yeah. Those problems just put stress on my face and we have nowhere to run away. And how we wish we have a beautiful world just like the 80s. That's why this bunch of games able to provide the comfort layer for us to escape. Even if it doesn't last that long, other than the two aforementioned elements. The game also contains multiple game modes, and what caught my attention are the implementation of story-based career mode, track editor, and local multiplayer, which sounds very promising. And the good news is that the game got approved to be early access on Steam, signifying another step closer for everyone to touch it in a good manner. People can't wait to be on board of this fun yet comforting ride, but those doesn't last forever with the reality kicking in. Oh, where do I even begin? Mind you, the game was initially announced in 2014, and over the years, the game was being developed, and according to Chase, the game can't meet its deadline, and told the backers the project will keep getting delayed, and on and on and on and on and on. It's okay. You know, a delayed game will always be good. Or so they thought. But then comes 2018. He just went radio silent, like the wind, leaving fans puzzling what is going on. Fans obviously weren't happy, and if you check the Kickstarter, you can pretty much guess the reaction from a mile away. It's even worse when the other developer, Delco Duck, expressed that even he can't seem to get in touch with Chase ever since 2 years ago, and even if they did talk, Chase kept claiming that he is supposedly busy with something, and apparently he stated on Twitter he allegedly saw someone re-upload the game onto mobile market, which is actually real, and he swore to take action, but then he's gone again. Okay, you could say, hey, try to DM him on Twitter and see if he replies. Well, I want to try, but then he privated his account. As for the musician, he just straight up vanished, leaving me no choice for further answer. Okay, you could say, hey, make the game on your own and release the code to public, but here's the problem. Chase is the one that holds all of the source code and no one else. So the fact that he just went away unnoticed is straight up baffling, which really reminds me of Nicholas. But either way, any of the backers can still access the game on Steam thanks to bundle, but obviously incomplete. Fans aren't able to get their refund, and Chase just never returned. But at least we got a demo to preserve the game, unlike 90s Arcade Racer, Normally the story ends here, but guess what? There's more to it. In 2019, Delco Duck broke the silence and provided some closure to this mess. It turns out he is quietly recording everyone's comments, but wasn't able to do anything else. At this moment, remember, Chase and Hugh already left, and the fact that Delco have to deal with everything alone is actually depressing. And also taking into account the plethora amount of angry comments that are targeted towards him, and also he faced some health problem, which adds salt to the injury. This guy just can't catch a break. Continuing on, he stated that the bank account of the company has been tapped and the project is not under Chase's belt anymore. And after a long legal lawsuit in 2021, Delco was able to acquire the entirety of the IP on his favor. But it's easier said than done. It's like opening a restaurant by yourself. You will not able to make a big progress at a quick rate, and coming off from a negative environment doesn't help anything either. He went on to say that he tried his best to find other developers to work alongside him, but doesn't receive any feedback from anyone, leaving him with the project to be at a still level. The next update came in February of this year, where some glimmer of hope were reignited, where he announced he is working on releasing the game on Steam, with the source code as well being made public, allowing fans to continue the legacy. But as of August 2022, we are still waiting patiently. That is the history of Drift Stage, an ambitious project with tragic story. What was once a project filled with passion would then become a sad story down the road. I genuinely feel very bad for Delco Duck. He spent 4 to 5 years making this game, only to be ruined by another individual. Not only he have to worry about the angry comments, but also his main concern about his health. It puts him in a bad spot, and he doesn't deserve all this hate at all. Yes, being live on Kickstarter is a bad feeling, but he's not the one fully responsible for this mess. But in the end, everything has come to an end when the game will finally get released after all these years. Delco Duck, if you're watching this, I hope you're doing well. The game is getting released soon, and you could say that this shouldn't be in the missing archive. But here's the thing, let this be a lesson for future references for anyone that want to use Kickstarter. Be careful of who you pick for the project, and most importantly, keep your promises. And that's why this story will remain in the missing archive. Thanks for watching.